We've all dreamt of it, haven't we? It's the fantasy that fuels 1,000 Sunday mornings, dragging us out of bed to wander through muddy fields and dusty church halls. It's the thrill of the hunt. The idea that we, with our untrained eyes and hopeful hearts, could spot the one thing everyone else missed. The lost masterpiece, the hidden history, the forgotten treasure buried under a pile of polyester jumpers and chipped mugs. For one archaeology student, this dream didn't just feel possible, it felt real. She found it, and she brought it to the one place where dreams are either validated in gold or quietly, politely shattered, the Antiques Roadshow. What unfolded, however, wasn't just a simple valuation. It was a roller coaster of human emotions so raw and so powerful that it stopped the entire show, culminating in a moment of pure, unfiltered despair. My life is over. It all started, as these stories often do, at a humble car boot sale in southeast London. Imagine the scene. A sprawling field of vendors, the smell of bacon baps in the air, and tables overflowing with the detritus of life. Our hopeful guest, fresh from a part-time archaeology course, was browsing. She wasn't just looking, she was hunting. Her mind was sharp, filled with newly learned facts about dynasties and burial rites. And then she saw it, tucked away among loads of house clearance things, watched over by a seller who didn't really seem very interested in it, was an object that made her heart stop. It was a curious piece, caked in what looked like ancient, sandy earth. Her training immediately kicked in. Because it had sandy earth, she later explained, I presumed it was some sort of funeral offering. This wasn't just a pot, this was history. The seller wanted £50. She, savvy and sensing a bargain, haggled him down to £30. £30, the price of a decent takeaway for what her gut, and her education, told her could be an ancient artifact. She walked away that day with a heavy bag and an even heavier secret, convinced she was carrying a piece of the ancient world. Fast forward to filming day at the Antiques Roadshow. The air is electric with anticipation. This is the final judgment. She finds herself in front of expert David Batty, a man who has held literal millennia in his hands. She carefully presents her find, her hands probably shaking just a little. David examined the supposed offering. He turned it over, his eyes missing nothing. The initial assessment was everything she had dreamed of hearing. He noted that superficially it had all the hallmarks of an piece from the Han Dynasty. Indeed, David confirmed, his expert voice lending weight to her theory. These were grave goods. Almost invariably they were buried, and having been dug up, you get all this wonderful color building up here. He pointed to the patina, the beautiful green-blue oxidation that collectors dream of. This is cast bronze and the copper is coming through. That's because of acid attack by the soil. The student's heart must have been pounding in her chest. Grave goods, cast bronze, acid attack. These were the magic words. This was it. David continued, explaining that the piece would have likely belonged to a highly important official when it was interred alongside them thousands of years ago. A highly important official. The value, the historical significance, it was all building to a crescendo. And then, with all her hopes sky high, she asked the fatal question, the one that would decide everything. How old is it? David Batty looked at her, his expression unreadable for a split second, and delivered the truth with devastating simplicity. A couple of years. The words hung in the air, completely incomprehensible. A couple of years. What happened next was pure, unfiltered human drama. This wasn't the polite, stiff upper lip disappointment you sometimes see. This was the catastrophic collapse of a dream. The guest couldn't conceal her devastation. She physically slumped, collapsing onto David's shoulder as if her legs had given out. The camera zoomed in as, burying her face into his jacket, she cried out in genuine anguish. Oh no, you're joking? Are you joking? Her voice was thick with tears. This wasn't just about money. It was about her expertise, her hope, her entire sense of judgment. Oh no, I'm so upset. I'm really upset. My life is over. She wasn't being dramatic. In that single, crushing moment, she felt the public humiliation, the foolishness, the loss of the incredible story she had been building in her head for years. It's like a stab to the heart, she wept. The moment was so intense, the crowd hushed. This was real. This was what loss feels like. David, to his immense credit, didn't flinch. He put a comforting arm around her, letting her have the moment. He was no longer just an expert, he was a human shock absorber. And then gently he said the words that would change everything again.